Welcome to the Masters Coliseum playoffs. Gonna be two best of five today coming up. We're actually only gonna be covering today and tomorrow live on the Masters Coliseum. I'm gonna take Sunday off, do some personal stuff, and then just because it's only two best of fives, it's not really a big deal. And then next weekend I'm actually away, so I guess it's a little bit of a lie. I'll be here on Thursday next week to cover the Masters Coliseum. I'm not gonna be here over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend. So, yes. One of the few days that will, yeah, one of the few days that will actually cast of these playoffs live, but I do kind of plan on catching up on them at some point. Just easy content to catch up on, good games for the YouTube as well, so very likely we'll be doing that, just, like I say, I gotta figure out the whens and the hows and stuff like that, so just thought I'd give you guys a little update as we start. Otherwise, hello everyone. Today we do the first two matches in this bracket, which is Hero versus Astrea, and then Reynor versus Spirit, best of fives. PvP is going to be a banger on the new patch. Very excited to see Astrea just because Astrea did so well in the group stages. He really surprised me with his performance in the group stages. Like, he was extremely good. I think he surprised a lot of people, honestly. So, excited to see Astrea playing here today. So the matches we'll miss is the lower bracket tomorrow. Then we will see the winner bracket semifinals live next week, and then I'll miss the rest of the lower bracket in the finals. That's okay. Like I say, I'm actually away next week, so I can't do much about it. Sunday, I just thought, instead of doing two best of fives and having nothing else to cover and expending some family time for that, I figured we'd just do the family time. So look at me picking the IRL over the Starcraft 2 sometimes. Oh my god. Do I even have any passion left? Holy shit, guys, Starcraft's actually dying. Wardy passion is non-existent. Ah! And good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. So today we're going to do these two best of fives, and then we're going to do the Elimo League 235 replays. We'll probably make this about a 5-hour Starcraft 2 cast, and then we'll be going into the... we have a sponsor today, Royal Match. If you want to check that out, that will be available to you guys to see once we start doing the Elimo League stuff. But !Royal in the Twitch chat. This is a game that this is a sponsorship that only works via your phone. It's another kind of download and play the game sort of games. We'll be showing you guys it later on as we get going. But yes, it is a download and play the game, and the more levels you get, the more it supports the stream and so on. I'll be playing it later on today as well, like I say. And like I say, that's going to be mobile only. There'll be a QR code actually once we get back to the normal overlays outside of Masters Coliseum, so then you'll be able to just scan it if you want to help out the stream. So yeah, that's coming up a little bit further down the line. Spirit was Soul, yes. Spirit used to be known as Soul. Name changed, stuck to it. Turns out name changing is very doable when you don't just name change constantly. I think in the past, a lot of people always thought name changes were very silly. Who's ever going to remember? But Shin name changed very successfully. Oliveira obviously won a World Championship, kind of helped. And Spirit too, though, I mean, feels very natural nowadays. Even Special, when he changed to Special from Major, and it became a much more kind of seriously taken name change, and it was not really a big deal, right? So, just some interesting analysis on the success of name changing in StarCraft 2. Hero with the running record against Astrea recently. That's not a surprise. I'm also not surprised to see Astrea taking a bunch of maps mixed in there. He's good. He's very good. And in PvP especially, I think he's got a real chance at upsetting Hero in this best of 5 today. So, yeah. I am a little bit of a believer in Astrea. I mean, I think Hero's been playing some fantastic StarCraft 2 as well. I think that can't go without being said, because I think he has absolutely been out there and performing. So yeah, don't want to take away from Hero. Again, just a reminder that on this event, we do not have in-game sounds until we get in-game. We don't have, like, stream sounds until we get in-game, just because they're using copyrighted music, and it keeps copyright striking my channel. So, yes, there will be no in-game sounds for... until we get in-game, basically. Like, I keep saying in-game sounds. I mean, I should say, like, stream sounds, like, sounds off the feed, because they're playing music and stuff right now. All you guys can hear is me yappering on. So yeah, just letting you know that that is intentional for the moment. Here is hero, and here is Astrea. As we get ready to begin this first best of 5 of the day, we're going to start on Whispers of Gold. We're going to go to Ley Lines. We're going to stop off at Abyssal Reef as well. It's going to be our initial map order here as we get through some early games. Like I say, Astrea was pretty heckin' good last time we saw him playing in this event, so I'm really excited to see if he can bring that level again. If he can bring that level again, I actually do think he takes this serious. He is playing very good in his group stage games, including taking Cyril to the limit, even if Cyril has shown a little bit of haziness in ZVP lately, so things to think on. Things to think on. Whispers of Gold. Gonna be our opening map here in just a few moments' time. And here we are. Put the game sounds on. There you go. You've got some background sounds now. And hero looking cold. He's really like curling up in to try and get some heat or something. It feels like in that shot right there. Curling up in his chair, gathering some heat, gathering some energy, ready to play out this series as this PvP will begin. So away we go. Like I said, just super excited to see Astrea. You might not even remember because Astrea played in the very first group of the Masters Coliseum, but he went 2-0 against Shin. He looked very comfortable there against Shin, who'd been on fire in the off-season. Then he went 2-1 against Cure first, and then he went and took a map off Cyril. Did lose that series, but took a map and actually played a very competitive other game as well, so it was a very fun series. So yeah, definitely was a little bit of the Astrea hype train as we came through the group stages of this event. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A little bit of Astrea hype. Always such a fun player to follow. Astrea, if you haven't followed his kind of career in Starcraft 2, for me, really came out originally as this very creative player, right? He first came around and he was this player who everyone kind of looked at and was like, whoa, this guy's like really heckin' good. And he used to do kind of like his own styles. Like he would not live by the, the playbook. He would make his own playbook, and he would have his own ways of playing things and his own build orders. And a lot of the time, his builds would eventually become things that were pretty standard. I remember Astrea was playing heavy Blink Stalker styles in PvZ long before heavy Blink Stalker PvZ was really kind of an accepted metagame. So, yeah, Astrea was always very creative and did not need other people to set the meta for him, and was always very capable of, somewhat setting the meta himself and doing very well for himself in those scenarios. So, yeah. As we get going here, Whispers of Gold for this map number 1. Again, it is best of 5. First to 3 map wins is going to take it today as we make our way through the early opening game. We have Reynor versus Spirit coming up later as well. That's our second best of 5 in case you just joined and missed the opener. Is Maxax playing this tournament? Yeah, he's in the Master Coliseum. He's in the playoffs. I believe he plays Zound tomorrow in the playoffs. I'm not misremember. So I believe it's Max Pack Zound tomorrow. We'll just take a few moments early. I wouldn't say there's anything too crazy happening. Stargate on either side. You see the Oracle coming up. I do see the frames are a little bit low, guys. I'm using a clean feed. Usually if the frames are low, that's just how I'm receiving it on the video. There's literally nothing I can do about this right now. This actually happens a lot with these clean feeds. It should just fix itself in a minute or so. That's what typically happens, but yeah, just letting you guys know I am also seeing it run at much lower FPS than what we would typically have it running at, so just saying it out loud to save you guys a little bit of sanity. Save me a bit of sanity if anyone starts asking in the chat. GoPro's going down, as you have the Phoenix on the way out. I will be able to shut down this Oracle, so then you're going to have Phoenix try and control the game with. So you're going to get longer control of the game, but your opponent's already going to be moving into a more powerful unit composition in the form of those Blink Stalkers. So definitely opens the door there to a little bit of a question. How you want to approach this, what you want to do. There's the Oracle going down. It gives you a lot of freedom as well, right? Because now suddenly you have a way to move out onto the map very comfortably here. You do not have to be overly concerned, too worried. You're actually just in a very comfortable position, like I say, and should be able to just do very well for yourself over the next little bit. I'm just going to see a stasis ward catching for a little bit there as well. I'm going to see an Oracle activating for a couple of probes as well. Oracle's activating, a few probes going down. A little bit more damage being done here and there. And Twilight Cans are coming up, a couple of gates, the +1 attack upgrade coming through, Stalkers continuing to set forward. You've seen the Stalkers coming straight up, Sentries and Stalkers deal some damage, so away we go. Trying to get a little bit of something done right here. See if there's anything in particular we can make happen for ourselves early on. Not really just yet. I'm just going to be seeing the Phoenix still moving about. And the Oracle still cruising about a little bit as well. Just going to be moving over there. +1 attack and charge coming online as well. So just going to get all of this underway for the moment. See what we can get going. Facing that Oracle still moving about a little bit as well. Just going to be continuing to move over here and getting settled in. Just again, a couple of probes going down for a moment or two as well. So good. So far, so good as we continue to try and put on a little bit more pressure. It's going to be having the Immortals and the Sentries and stuff coming through, but there's the blink in from Astrea, so he's going to be able to get in there and try and deal some damage, which should be pretty nice for us as well. Trying to get a little bit extra going on right now. As you see the Immortals, the Adepts, etc. continuing to come through. And a couple of Stalkers continue to hang around, so we just sit there for a few more moments, still settling in. It's going to be seeing the Oracle coming back over, going to go for a little bit more damage as well. It's going to be seeing a couple of units coming back over again, trying to see a little bit more of what's going on. Just trying to see if there's anything else that can be done here as our Phoenix, our Zealots, our Mortals, Archon all continue to gather together. Well, these Immortals still joining up as well, so just again seeing if there's anything really super exciting that can go on. Honestly, the answer so far is not really in particular. Just settle back down. It's going to see our Phoenix lifting, and it's going to be one Stalker killed that couldn't blink away. Stasis Sword coming down, we get that set up. Just going to be seeing that +2 attack on the Archon continue to come into play as well. Stasis is going to catch at that Zealot too, so just a little bit more action coming through right here. Getting chilled out and settled for the foreseeable few moments. Stalker's going to get the Observer going down. It's a bunch more units getting warped in as well. So just a little bit of extra coming through there. see ourselves these old Archon Immortal going to come and step forward a little bit even, so just going to come straight through. Actually going to try and make a little bit of a shove forward here on a push. In we go. I'm just going to be seeing the Prism, going to take a few shots. Love that from Astrea if he can shut it down, but his army's just not standing up to what is truly a little bit too much of a powerful force right here on the side of Hero. So Hero's able to build up a strong enough army. It looks as though he is going to be able to grab the opening game of this best of 3. Best of 5. Here in the playoffs, Hero going to strike first. Love to see that for him. We got this all set up. Maul's going to fire back for you Stalkers. Going back over. Hero says... Astrea says GG, and Hero says, nice, game number 1 is mine. And away we go. Alright, a little shake of the head as we get ourselves settled in here and figure out what is the plan on this one. Then we map number 2, ley lines coming up in just a few short moments, so we get that ready to roll. Sorry guys, just sending a couple messages out. Sorting something quickly. I don't know, just be right back. 1 sec. Alright, so to the next one. Like I say, ley line's going to be map number 2 here. Should be going in just a moment or so. Get this underway. And we will get started. Alright, here we go. Let's kick this off. Top right is going to be our blue Protoss player, Hero. Taking on in the bottom left, our red Protoss player, Astrea. As we get this up, rolling, ready to party. And away we are going. Get coming through, simulators coming up. And we've seen our probe coming over to the sides. Going to be heading down to the bottom here for the first few moments, get that underway. As we settle this into action. I was just going to scout on through Astrea, looking to get back on track in this series then. Would love to get back into this nice and easily without too many issues. Definitely feel as though he should be able to... Again, definitely. I mean, I personally really think Astrea's got a good shot in this series. First game gets away from him. can't do enough with some of his moves. Let's see if he can bounce back in this second game. Like I say, I think every game is a very viable chance for Astrea to be looking pretty darn decent. So we will see. We will see. Just how it all goes as we continue through this. A couple moments here right now as we get into the action. Going to be seeing our probes playing the nibbling game, so a little bit of back and forth right there, a little bit of action coming through that probe. It's going to bounce around a little bit as well, also trying to see a bit of what's going on just for the moment. See what's up and see what's happening. Yeah, that probe is just going to come getting chased around a little bit, so a little bit of a chasing game being made. Just going to be seeing a couple of stalks moving through, that pylon coming about. Again, trying to see what it is that we can get up to over these next few moments. Stalker's just going to shoot. I'm going to see a force field 2 coming down. Whoa, those are missed force fields. Both those force fields are misses. Complete whiffs there from Hero. A little bit unexpected. You don't really see Hero making those little mistakes too often. So that is, I definitely think, a mistake right there. I could say should have at least been, if you're going to commit those force fields, you're looking for the catch, right? So should have been able to do a little bit better than what he did. Let's just have a couple more units getting warped in. It's going to be seeing the sentries and the stalkers gather back up together, so they're going to come back over here as well. Get reset for just a little bit once more and see where else we can go. Got ourselves the sentry stalker moving around. Got ourselves the robot facility coming up. The probes coming in on both sides as well. The devs is going to shade on through the couple of sentries setting up there with the stalkers as well. We're seeing those devs still trying to go. 2-3 workers going down. A little bit more damage being dealt. Just going to get the cleanup there. So Astrea losing a few workers, but cleaning up. Hero's still sitting at the front and applying pressure here. His Robo is getting the Immortal on the way out, and we are going to be seeing Astrea with Blink ready shortly. Should be able to try and get settled. The Resonating Glaives coming through, the Immortal still building. That Hallucination just checks straight through into the main base to see what's up. Answer is not really much of anything. And yeah, Sentry Stalker of Hero goes running back now. Getting away. For the moment, it's just going to be getting the heck out of there. Units of Astrea continue to come across the map. See a few sentries going to come through there as well. It's just going to get a little bit of action going between those. And as you have the Immortal still Corona boosting along as we speak. So we just continue to get that into play as best we can. Again, just going to see a couple of Immortals hanging about. Hallucination overhead, Resonating Glaives, and the Warp Prism. 2 more gateways coming around. Also here currently, a Stalker step forward is going to come straight through. Going to start going after that sentry, then start to blink away. So a little bit of back and forth right there. More shots coming around. The depths will shade down the bottom also. Resonating Glaives will be finishing. Charge still coming online. Just going to be having ourselves the couple of probes, the gates, the nexus. All of that continues up and into play. Prism coming over. The Immortals are going to be part of that. Going to sit here in the center as units are going to look at each other and begin to make some moves. Think about jumping at each other there for a couple of moments. We've seen back and forth continues. And this warping of Hero. Very aggressive army composition right now. Looking very powerful in all honesty. Pretty darn good from him. Should be a pretty big deal in the next few moments. We see a few adepts going to start to shade. We're going to go after a couple of the pylons here as well. Doc trying to actually build him from Hero. Man, he's just got so much stuff to work with, and Astrea is already looking to struggle. Problem is, Astrea's gone into Blink, and he's just not utilizing Blink at all. If you go Blink, you got to go and use Blink, you know? Go and do your thing. Go and make it happen a little bit, right? And that's just not the case of what's happening there in the slightest, unfortunately. So, it's going to be kind of rough for you. You just got to be a bit better than that, plain and simple. Don't think there's not rocket science to it or anything, right? Like, you just got to be better than that, unfortunately. Well, that's going to put us on a 2-0 lead very early for Hero here. And Astrea just not even getting going in this series. It's going to be a very fast opening matchup here today. And it'll just be a fast day in general. I mean, I don't really look at Reynor versus Spirit as being some extravagant series either. I think that's got a heavy favorite involved, right, in the form of Reynor. So yeah, not sure how we're feeling on that. There's a reef coming up, as I mentioned. Get this ready to roll. Hope everyone's doing good today again. Thanks for joining us early on for some Masters Coliseum action. Good to be here and bringing you guys some of these games. Like I said, we're going to be doing the Alima League 235 replays after this as well. So we're going to have like 5-ish hours of Starcraft to do. Then we've got a sponsor to do as well. It's going to be a nice little day on the stream. So thanks for joining us. Good to see you guys. This'll Reef going to be our upcoming map. As we get on into it, let's see if Astrea can bounce back. In the bottom right, a map away from victory today, and just moving on through, it's going to be Hero, our Blue Protoss player. He's taking on Astrea in the top left corner, who is absolutely looking to bounce back and make this a series he can contend in once more. Would love to get back on track here. Let's see what is going to happen over these next few moments as we get settled in. For the moment, just going to be seeing a gateway coming down. Just going to get that settled up, and away we go. Probe coming across the map. Going to be heading over here. Here we're just going to be making some moves to scout and to see what's going on. Going to get the wall off up, or the second gateway up. Here from Astrea, we're just going to stick to the one gateway. Might just be going for a one-gate expansion. It is something that Hero dabbles in a fair amount. Not too surprising to see him thinking of kind of bringing those things into play and to kind of go in those directions, honestly. Seeing the Nexus still gathering, and again, the Cyber Core coming up on both sides, the Zealot and the Probe in production as well. All of that continues through here for the moment. We have our Probe going to come across, drop down a Nexus here as well. Just going to get that going. Just do have a couple of gates, and the Cyber Core continue to come up as well. It's just going to get a little bit of everything coming through here. Probe on the other side getting set to move on in as well. Just going to come straight through, see what's up. Astrea going to step forward with this worker and go investigate a little bit. Probe continues across. Again, just going to try and see a little bit of what is up right now. A little bit of investigation for a few moments. As we settle down. Again, the probe coming down to the bottom right-hand side. Just going to be having ourselves the hallucination from Astrea to try and check out. To really see what's going on. He's still building a sentry as his hero. Both players going to have hallucinations for days to figure out what's happening here. In his first round of the playoffs, Hero looking to be, already up 2-0. Looking to take a 3-0 victory. Swift win for him, set a bit of a statement coming into this one that he ain't messing around. Definitely got to be feeling pretty good about things in that regard, right? As just have another hallucination. Going to start moving out onto the map. It's going to go journeying across. We do have ourselves Twilight Council coming through the gateway in production as well. Just bringing a little bit of everything in right there. Full sentries and the Stalker going to go nibbling as well. We're seeing a couple force fields coming down. It's going to be Astrea trying to get a little bit feisty right now. So Astrea trying to get involved. It's going to be seeing a couple more shots coming through. It's going to be seeing a couple more shots coming around. A bit more damage being done across the board right there. Just begin to resettle to see those Stalkers going to go pinging against each other, so a little bit more damage to be done for a few moments. I'm just going to be seeing those Stalkers continue to chase. So Hero is going to push this back from Astrea. Both players heading to Blink this time. So we're going to have Blink versus Blink here in this game 3. One Stalker goes down, the other couple Stalkers still continue to play the chasing game. Stalkers still gathering together for the moment, so a few more units gathering up right now. Got ourselves the Stalker on the left side, moving back over. 4 more Stalkers joining into the center. These units coming into the middle and actually going to run into one Stalker right from the get-go. Couple of shots going back and forth. The Stalkers continue to come down to the bottom here. Stalkers will continue to be chased. Now we get Stalkers going the other direction as well. There goes one more. Hero getting the grabs right now in Astrea. His army supply is falling apart a little bit. Definitely not looking super pretty for him in the slightest. He is absolutely ending up in some trouble right now. So yeah, not exactly ideal at all for Astrea at this moment in time. And he's just going to say GG. Hero's going to take it 3-0, and we have an absolute wash for the first match of the day. And that is half of this tournament for the day. I mean, this is why I really am not a believer that this is a good format for a tournament. Because obviously you get a couple fast matches, and you're basically talking about less than a 2-hour stream. So unfortunately for us, that's going to be our first series already done, as now we got Reynor versus Spirit coming up. So we will get a little bit more action. There's TVZ coming through in a few moments. Get this going very shortly. Kick off into some games and see whether Reynor versus Spirit can be a bit more of a banger. Obviously, as we get through some matches, we get to the later stages, we will start to see, I think, some more competitive games in these playoffs. But I was really feeling the way that this had started out for Astrea in the group stages, that he was playing so well lately. Maybe we'll see some fun from Astrea in the lower bracket, because this is double elimination. So Astrea will have a second shot in the lower bracket. That will be on Sunday for him, his first lower bracket matchup against the loser of this next series, which is Reynor or Spirit. We'll get that rolling here very soon. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on, guys. Thank you for joining us so far today. Good to see you all. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you guys, and we are going to get back to it in just a few. We're just going to run some ads and stuff. I'm going to sit here and chat, so if you guys are chilling, then feel free to keep on chilling. And yeah, we'll get back into it real soon here with our Reynor vs. Spirit TVZ series coming up. Usually about 5 minutes from now, I would say. If you want to step away, it's probably going to be about 5 minutes until we get the game going again. So a little guesstimate of how long we might be. I guess there's no guarantee there. It's a guesstimate. as we get settled down. Sometime versus Reynor Spirit, a 53-minute game. I would not be against it. I will cast all the silly long games today. I'm okay with it, absolutely. Because we've already had we've had our fast series, right? Surely we're due a long series now. Straight up, we're just due a long series. I'm ready for it. I'm very ready for it. Here's the highlights from the previous series. Yeah, this is why it takes about 5 minutes. We do highlights, they go to a different break screen for a couple minutes or an ad or two, and then we get rounded out and wrapped up. So that's generally what happens here. You guys can't hear the music, but I promise you it's as amazing as always. Yeah, not guys, I'll keep you updated on the music. I'll let you know if anything changes on the music front for sure. Does anyone know why Oliveira went out to retirement in such a poor way? Yeah, I'm not sure what really happened. What I can gather is that Oliveira decided he wanted to retire, but had already accepted an invite into a bunch of these tournaments. And then he was very set on when he wanted to retire. I don't know really why. It seems a bit random to me. It's almost like it was like he couldn't have just like waited, because I don't know what was gonna happen if he like got out of the group stage of these tournaments, because apparently he had his retirement day planned. Like I said, I'm not sure how that works if you end up just, you know what I mean? Like what happens if you freaking got out of the group stage? So yeah, I don't know. I think he just wanted to put a hard cap on when he was gonna play. But like I said, just a little unfortunate because he'd already accepted invites into tournaments and then just decided to off race in those, and it was a little bit of a sad final showing from Oliveira. Yeah, I mean, honestly, his Terran was still looking pretty good. He played that series against Clem and looked pretty dangerous. I know he's just being a bit more aggressive because he's playing against Clem's Protoss. He's playing some pretty aggressive stuff, but I would say he was still looking fine, you know? I wouldn't say he was looking bad or anything. So yeah. Anyways, it's not the craziest scenarios at the end of the day. He decided he wanted to retire and he was just done, then he was just done, you know? All good. Yeah, that's why they changed the Leo League Cup date, because apparently he just wanted to. He said he was retiring on that Monday, so if they didn't move the tournament to the Monday, he would just forfeit his spot. Which I think you should just let the guy forfeit his spot and invite whoever came closest in the qualifiers. Like, but obviously it's a Chinese tournament, they want to see Oliveira one last time. Like, I get it. Just for the hassle it caused. You know, just like you moved your entire tournament date and messed with other people's plans and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Just a weird situation all around, so I wouldn't particularly say that I actually got sent the replay pack to do Group A, but then I looked I asked someone if the games were any good, and then pretty much everyone just said skip them because they weren't really very exciting. So yeah. Alright, a little bit of an ad here, guys, then we should start getting into some graphics for our second series of this Masters Coliseum playoff day number 1. Like I say, we'll not be done when this second series wraps up. This is why I didn't do Alima League replays on Wednesday. I thought it would be much more fun to do the Alima League replays today, and then it just gives us a longer stream rather than just Wednesday and then today's super short potentially. I thought that made a lot more sense, so that's what we're going to be doing today. It's just a heads up that we are still going to be live after this. Like I say, we're going to do at least 5-ish hours of StarCraft. If this is super fast and the Alima League replays don't last that long, then okay, but my general goal is to be here for about 5 hours of StarCraft 2, and then we're going to have our sponsorship for 1 hour as well. So we'll be doing that as well. We'll be playing a Royal Match on stream later. You can already check that on the Twitch chat if you do so wish. So yeah, you can check that out if you fancy it. And yeah, that's where we are at. Cool. So, into our next series. Hopefully in a sec we should have Reynor Spirit, some stats coming on screen, and those little build-ups into the next series. I mean, Reynor should be a hefty favorite here, but I think Spirit can be dangerous. I mean, Spirit tried a couple things against Serral yesterday in the Leo League Cup. That did not go so well, but I do feel like what Spirit tries has more success chance against against Reynor than it does against Serral, to be honest. So alright, here are our stats. You can see Reynor for the most part going to be pretty darn comfortable against Spirit. Didn't play too much over the last year, did they? 5 matches goes back just to all the way to March. Spirit got a 1-0 win there. WTL or something, maybe? Not sure. Very rare you play best of ones, which is just what has me wondering a little bit. All good though, all good. Is it a Dragon Ball Z tournament? No, they just have Dragon Balls as like a background thing. Like, it's just design choice. It's China. You can kind of do anything in China. You know, you can just decide that your tournament is Dragon Ball themed. Apparently, Spirit got the one bug win in the EPT Europe when Reynor was in Korea. Oh, really? I don't even remember that. Do, 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 do. Everyone's fine to win the Dragon Balls. That'd be pretty sick. I feel like we could all use the Dragon Balls for the same thing, though. Just, you get one wish. Give StarCraft 2 a 5-year-long circuit. Whoa. Who knew? Imagine Super Saiyan Hydra with blonde hair. Maybe when Marines stim, it's actually they just go Super Saiyan. All the Marines get like blonde spiky hair, and then they're just like they're dealing damage more quickly. What's my favorite game from the last year? Helldivers 2, Astrobot, or Black Myth Wukong? Starcraft 2, mate, has been my favorite game on the last year. I think Starcraft 2 should win Game of the Year. Who cares about all these new games? Guys, I really am just a Starcraft nerd. I don't really take much interest in games outside of Starcraft. And RuneScape. I play RuneScape as well, right? Like those are my games. That's all I really play. I don't play any of these new single player exciting things or multiplayer. I don't play anything outside of outside of the couple games I stick to. I don't know if that's just a sign of getting older, being happy and comfortable with what you already enjoy, not feeling the need to go and try new things. I mean, I've never really been into playing a bunch of new games. To be fair, it's just not really my vibe. So Still Marines around KO because they became damaged using it. Hmm. Now we're just trying too hard to make it a thing. Good work though. SC2, PoE2, Valo. I was thinking about trying out PoE2 to be honest, but I mean, I'm RuneScape has its league right now. For it's in its like I'm in my last 2 or 3 days of playing it. Actually, I'm very nearly finished with it. So after that, I was kind of thinking of trying PoE2, but I might just wait because we might play with Helen. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't really have anything I want to go out and play. Wardy Dad on the 95-month resub, 95 months in a row. Guys, if my dad can find the Prime button for 95 months in a row, so can you. Subscribe for free today with your Prime. Always appreciated, goes a long way, helps us out a bunch, allows us to run even more StarCraft 2 content, obviously. So, do check out that wonderful little button. It's easy to press. Helps out a bunch, like I say. Does a lot. Hell yeah. Sword and Reynor are both camless. They've actually both been camless lately. Last couple of times I've seen them, they've both been without cams. So, interesting little fact for you all. I know Reynor has bad internet. So I'm not sure what Spirit's reasoning is, but yeah. Should be ready to go soon. Obviously, going to start on ley lines as you can already see, so we know what our first map is going to be here. So they are messing with the Reynor picture for whatever reason. Oh, we actually have a Reynor camera. That swanky little room he's got. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Away we go as we kick off into our second series of the day. I was waiting a little bit for this best of 5 to start, but we get to go into it right now. Get this started and into some Starcraft 2 action. Appreciate you all being here. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Good to see you all. Let's get to it as we have Reynor and Spirit getting head to head at the moment. Get this started out. Get this underway. See what's going to happen as we get everything ready to go. Reynor playing Zerg, bold choice. Yeah, it's EVT. I think he's going to take the playoffs here pretty seriously against his opponent's main race. Spirit's very good. Reynor will respect that, I think. I don't think there's going to be too much of a surprise factor there for anyone. Let's just get our Overlord on a bit of a move as well. So it's going to be coming across for a few moments. Take a few seconds, get set up, get settled down. Entry coming into play as well. Let's see our second rack's coming through. It's going to be multi-racks Reaper to start us off here from Spirit, so we already see pretty much exactly where he wants to take this game and what he wants to do in these early stages. So we see where Spirit is going to take this for the first few moments. Getting this underway. And settle down for a few moments. So yeah, getting up and running. The actual drone's going to move back over as well, so they're just going to come across over to the sides and keep a little bit of a move on as the Reaper heads to the bottom left. CC setting up on the natural. And that Reaper just chills out down the low ground. Link speed coming through, the couple queens and the hatchery continue to come in as well. Let's see how Reaper going to fire up a few shots. Hatchery will take some damage. A couple Reapers going to get going immediately. A couple grenades going down with that as well. So a little bit to be done just for the moment. And obviously just put some pressure on these few Zerglings and the Queens combined. Going to try and make something happen. There's a little grenade on the Queens. Going to make it a little bit scary for them. We actually lose a Queen early. Not ideal from Reynor at all. That's definitely not what you want to be seeing. So that ain't great. Definitely not quite the start we're looking for here. As you have the Reapers continue to fight and those slow Lings taking damage. Good start from Spirit. He's getting a lot out of this opening. Right now, the only thing I'd say is that at least the hatchery isn't taking damage. But man, like, you just lost a couple of Lings, right? Your Queens took a bit of a beating too. This was not a pretty start for you in the slightest. So, really not ideal. As the Reapers and the Lings actually going to have now with the Ling speed a chance to catch these Reapers. And so the Reapers will begin to go down. That is a factor for sure. Just see the Ling's actually going to catch that last Reaper too, so, you know, after what felt like a pretty good start from Spirit, then you lose everything, and that feels pretty rough. So that's kind of sad. It was going so well, and it's all come crumbling down. Ling's at the front, going to hit that factory. It's going to take quite a few nibbles. SCV going to come forward and build a depot behind. Sorry, that's not a factory. That's the starport coming up, actually. So the starport in some trouble here. Not what you want to be seeing, realistically. Starport has to cancel. It's going to slow Spirit down as well. As Reynor definitely bouncing back from what was a pretty rough start, in all honesty. Not ideal, to say the least. That's going to be seeing a couple Hellions still going through. The starport still on the way. Get this settled in for a few more moments. Hellions just going to continue out from the factory there. It's just going to get those all on the move as well. We have ourselves the Hellions actually going to come by, looking for some of the drones right here, so just seeing if they can find some potential opportunity. See if there's a chance to do some damage. So far, answer seems to be not really. Too much of a chance, at least. I mean, Banshee on the way. We do actually get 9 drones, so actually better than I was originally expecting there, to be honest. So yeah, that went a little bit better than I thought. And with the Banshees coming out, more harassment potential available there too, so that should also be a factor to consider as we move onwards. We see our Hellions still cruising about. The Queens are going to get there as well. Away we go with all of those to keep on being impactful. Aliens still joining up, just going to come cruising together. And a couple of Banshees coming around, the Hellions are going to step there. Queen's going to play the blockade. Very nicely done. Trap those in and just try and guarantee some more kills. Anything like that's going to help you. The Banshee's is going to come through for a few more drones as well, so a little bit more damage being dealt. The Queen's still whacking away, the drone's still dropping. 8 drones going down. Again, 1-1 upgrades and combat shield, all continuing through. The armory and the reactors coming up as well. CC also in production. And progress will continue to be made there. CC settles down. Take a few moments to just have ourselves again the tank, CC the factory, all of that coming through right now. So just kind of a little bit of everything on the go. And just noticing our CC coming across to the top. The Marines have gathered up. The medevac is right there. A couple of medevacs are right there as well, try and help out. Bane's morphing, just going to see the Marines coming through. The 2-2 upgrades still coming about. Bane speed coming in. Got an infestation pit and hatchery continuing to build for now. It's been an interesting game. I really felt like Spirit got off to such a good start, and it felt like it turned a bit bad for him, and then it feels as though we're kind of back on track for Spirit as well. You know, it feels like we're kind of going in all sorts of directions here already. And then he got those drones, which actually helped him so much. And like I say, kind of back on track. Because again, guys, I am also seeing these little bit of these lag spikes that you're seeing. So apologies in advance for those. I really can't do anything about them. It's just part of the clean feed that we're given. And I can't really do anything at all to fix it, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry about that. Apologies. There's a couple of Banshees still floating about, figuring out if there's anything exciting for them to do. I mean, Reynor gets so much creep spread up right now, he's going to be pretty well set across the board here on ley lines. So, I mean, he's got very good coverage of creep. It's going to keep him extremely safe, should keep him in a very good position in these early stages. That should do a lot for him. As we've got a CC coming up as well. It's going to come through very soon. Gonna have the Lings and the Bane also making their way back down the other side. As I mean, Spirit's very happy to just kind of camp out in these scenarios as well, I imagine. I don't think he is going to be overly eager to try and like get out on the map and do things crazily. He'll drop around a little bit, but he's not going to go for a larger push at this stage. He's happy to sit back and let Reynor start attacking into him, get into this very comfortable state of TVZ, where you're kind of just asking the Zerg to trade effectively into your defenses, which is very difficult for a Zerg to do usually, so that's kind of what we're looking for in that regard. Marines and the medevacs continue to join together. We'll be seeing the tank continue to come about as well, so just getting that all joined up. The tank going to take a little bit more damage as Reynor needs to poke and break on through. Yeah, we do get things settling down. The Viper's going to come across with some parasitic bombs. Is that medevac going to go down? Yes, it took too much damage alongside the parasitic bomb, so it goes down. One full medevac dead, the other super low. Reynor doing a great job so far of just nullifying the plays that Spirit wants to try and make here. Absolutely getting shut down on those attempts. Ling's going to run up. Those Marines are going to get turned around. We got the siege tank trying to fly away, trying to make something happen. Tank goes down as well. That will fall. Bane gathers in the center. 3-3 upgrades coming through, the additional drones coming out, evolution chamber and hatcheries building as we speak. I mean, Reynor, like I say, is going to be forced into this longer game whether he likes it or not right now, so going to be a little bit forced into that. And a little bit stuck in terms of what he can do at this stage. Going to be having, I mean, basically, you're just going to throw units into your opponent repeatedly. That is kind of how this goes. That's kind of how this just plays out, so it should not come as too much of a surprise factor right now. That scan coming through once again, by the way, is just Spirit going to keep scanning. He's going to keep trying to find a couple of snipes because he still wants to find efficiency as well, right? At the end of the day, he's also still looking to try and make this as comfortable state of the game as he can. So there should be no surprise in that regard either. Bio pulls back toward the center. Maybe seeing a couple of Ions still whacking away. A bit more damage being done. As the Banes continue to bow. Just see that creep team taking a little bit more damage as well. It's just a little bit more creep coming through on that one. Do have our ghosts gathering. As again, advanced ballistics comes through, +3/+3, even vehicle weapons at +3 as well, so really is Spirit getting into the full swing of things upgrade-wise. Spire on the way out. Again, a couple of hatcheries coming through, the upgrades coming in. Got a lot of that on the go just for a moment. An initial attack in here from Reynor trying to hit this Landry down. He is going to get it. Obviously, there's plenty of base to replace. It's not always about replacing bases. It's also about being there to kind of, you know, knock down a bit of that economy, slow the Terran down, force those bases to be the replacement instead of just being the next, the next kind of base along, which you want to kind of try and slow down as much as possible, basically. Thing's going to come running in here. Just going to see our CC lifting off. Thing's going to reach a couple of those siege tanks. They're going to go down pretty quickly too. Now the rest of the Ling's going to jump on towards these other siege tanks, and a bit of damage being done, to be honest. Bane's going to crash through. Orbital command falls as well. 10 SCVs going, like I say, anytime you're knocking down SCVs, you're slowing down that Terran economy, you're slowing them from mining out their bases. That is a step towards you breaking through them as the Zerg player. Almost definitely. Gets rid of the hatch there. And a couple of orbitals setting up. Just going to be seeing our Viper on the way through. The banelings continue to produce. Siege gets knocked down as the fuelings run up to greet it. Bane's coming up, plus 2 missiles on the way. Bane just going to regroup once again, going to go around the top side. Reynor still looking for ways to break into a set of bases of Spirit. I mean, this is where Spirit wants to be, maxed out, able to take defensive-based trades. This really is ideal for Spirit. It's exactly what you want to be having happen. I mean, this is kind of the game you've been playing for, essentially. So he should be very happy with things at the moment. Should be no concerns on his side right now. I mean, I guess your concern is that the Zerg has so much of the map, but I mean, he's been setting up for this, and he is a 6-base Terran, which is a lot of bases. That's a lot of resources that the Zerg has to chew through efficiently, and there's a lot of time in which Spirit can make plays with 6 bases of resources available to him. So usually you talk about a Zerg stopping the Terran on 5 bases, but if you're stopping him on 6, like I say, the Terran's going to feel a bit more comfortable about that. It's going to be tough as well for Reynor to make a play on that right side base too, that currently incoming base 7. If he's focused on the top and these bases up here, then that right base is going to be tough to get to, and Spirit's also countering down, trying to deny some bases of Reynor as we go as well. Things, Bane, tanks, but everything continuing through right here as we just have a crushing attack in from Reynor once again. 13 SCVs end up going down. How is this ideal for Spirit? Because he has no bank and slowly getting choked out. Because this is the position you've been playing into. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, could it be a bit better? Yes. So maybe ideal is not the word, but I think from the state the game was at, I think this is fairly ideal for him, where the game has slowed down. Reynor was not successfully breaking into bases. He's got 6 bases up, like I say, which is fantastic for a Terran in this scenario. Honestly, like, it seems crazy, but I feel like there's a lot worse positions Spirit could be in at the moment. Reynor going to run units in. He turns around. Is it ever worth turning those units around? He saves a few of them, but he loses so many more. Yeah, I think ideal's a bad word. I think I used it in a bad context, right? Ideal would have been that the game never got to this stage and he was in control and the Zerg is scrapping for economy. But in a game where Reynor controls the map and the Terran is turtling, this is kind of an ideal scenario. Yes, he doesn't have a huge bank, but he has the bases to get a big bank, right? Like, he has access to bases, which over time can win him this game. So yeah, I think a bad use of words on my side. I mean, I can absolutely see Spirit being able to win this game from here, you know? Like, this does not seem like too crazy of a suggestion to me. Bang gonna get underneath. A couple Hydras trying to give chase as well for a few moments. If Reynor can't mine the corner base either, that's also a big loss for him. That is the base of spirits he would like to mine in this game. And sometimes it's not just about denying the Terran having that base, it's about mining it yourself as well. That's sometimes how cost inefficient the Zerg is. I can't bring up resources lost right now. I don't have control of that. Oh, there it is. 33,000 and 30k. Okay. So Reynor's probably fine for now. I don't think it's, like, terrifying for him or anything. But like I say, there's definitely a world where if he was, like, 10,000 more resource loss behind, which is possible, then there's a world where he needs to be doing a bit more towards some of those bases on that bottom side. It turns out that in this case, he probably doesn't need to. But yeah. These games are actually pretty complex. We see them play out a lot, and it may just seem like, well, you trade efficiently or you don't, but there's a lot of kind of things in play to kind of keep in mind and to keep track of. Last few moments have been much more successful for Reynor, by the way. Actually seeing some fights which are getting involved, getting into the bases, actually denying bases as well. Those are big positives for sure. Spirit has been losing SCVs, but he can replace those fairly easily if he needs to. Shouldn't be much of a problem as our buy on our Ghost pull back top. Let's see a couple more Liberator shots coming through, so and little bits of damage being done still. Let's just have ourselves the Lings trying to get a little bit of a wrap around too, see if there's anything else they can get up to for a moment or so. I mean, just going to run in. This forward base is becoming a bit more of a struggle for Spirit, but he's also making progress to taking the bottom right base and denying these bottom bases of Reynor that are not completely mined out. Reynor is slowly losing some of the control, which we've talked about. Hey, you know, this series is already going to go... Oh, this game's already going to go longer than the entire first series. Nice, I'm into it. Very into it. CC setting up. It's going to come moving around. Yeah, I do like some of the progress that Reynor's been able to make recently. I do think there's been some successes for him there. Just floating across, single Zergling coming through as well. Ooh, the Hydra lunge to go and get rid of some libs quickly. We're going to try and attack the bottom right side. This is the newer base of Spirit. This might be where Reynor puts a lot of his attention in the near future. Definitely something we're going to be keeping our eyes on as this continues through. I mean, Reynor is making a lot of progress on the top, but Spirit's benefit is that he's getting the base in the bottom. How much do we love that? I like the base a lot. I'm not sure if I love him not keeping some of those top bases and just presence on the top of the map, because that feels like revenue or space that now Reynor can take control of. I don't really think giving Reynor space is in your best interests, to be honest. Lingbane Hydra going to come around. A couple siege tanks going to get jumped on as well, so we will start to go and find a fight here. I like the angle from Reynor, and right now, not really the fight Spirit wants to be taken when he's a bit more out in the open, because this is a lot of units lost for him. And while it was probably not a terrible trade, it was probably just okay. And okay trades aren't what you're looking for as the Terran player. You're looking for very good trades. And because he's a bit more out in the open there, Reynor finds a much better fight than what he was able to find in the last few minutes. And that's going to really do a lot to just basically force Spirit to spend a lot of the bank he had. And that's, like I say, going to kind of put Spirit back a little bit, I think. It's a pretty rough scenario, to be honest. Lingbane continues through. Marine gets picked off. The command center there going to be taking some damage as well. Ghosts, Liberator joining up together. Guns will be there. A couple of Lings going down. The Banes are going to morph in on the bottom side as well. But that's settled here as we do have Lingbane just going to crash through. That base in the front goes down again. So it's just going to be another grab that we can make. "11 SCVs killed. Really just think it comes down to that moment where Spirit's in the open. I mean, this to me has been the most defining factor that we've had recently. Let's see the orbital landing back down. Ling's been able to do much. Couple planetaries coming in. I mean, we're taking another base here. This one's been mined by Reynor, but it is still some resources you can gain as the Terran. You take those. As a Terran player, you don't get picky. You take any base that has resources on it at these sort of stages. 28 minutes deep on ley lines. I think the problem is, right, so imagine that fight didn't happen in the open. Reynor would have drained like another 5k resources to get to this point. Whereas instead, Reynor is now regaining resources because it was such a rough fight for Spirit in comparison. And I think that difference is really going to be the game changer. Is that is a big lag spike on the clean feed, guys. Again, apologies, we can't do anything about that. This is just what's being sent to us. I can't do anything to improve it. We just have to kind of go with what we're given on this one, so apologies in that regard. We got some drones here. I mean, the Blue Flame Hellbat's putting some work in. It's good to see. That's what you want to see as well, right? It's kind of things you want to have happening. Oh, Ling run by into the main. I mean, we're not in a super huge point of utilizing the main base right now, but it's always going to be nice to get in there and start shutting down and throwing off some of the setup that you've got as the, some of the setup that you've really got there as the, Terran play. Even if it's just a few, structures still at this stage, it's nice to be able to put a stop on those for a little bit as the Lingbane Hydra comes around the bottom side. We'll see the Ghost coming through, Medivacs and Hellion still coming online as well. Let's get rid of a couple of siege tanks. Gonna go for a couple more as well. The Bio's still sitting there. The Overseer's turned around. Lingbane Hydra coming forward once again. In we go. Planetary Fortress turns and fights back. The Banes crash through. These are game-winning plays from Reynor because he's knocking down the income that Spirit needs to stay in the game. Right? He's knocking down bases that Spirit relies on. So yeah, this has been a sequence of events that is just going to win it for Reynor, because now Spirit basically has to rely on what he's already mined, and that's not enough to stop the 10k, 5k bank of Reynor. If Reynor had a little bit more tech available, this would be a great time to, potentially Broodlord switch. I don't think he needs to. But this is the kind of time where, a switch is something you can't respond to at all as the Terran player. So we're definitely at that kind of a stage at this point. Yeah. Well, as for some longer games, we're going to get it. Can't complain about that. Like I say, it was a pretty rough first series of the day, so we will take a little bit of a longer start to the second series. It's going to be good in my eyes. It's going to be doing us a lot of favors in terms of being able to continue to watch some entertaining games. see now what Ling's going to continue through. Just going to go running back up to the top. There's a couple of ghosts over there, siege tanks. I mean, this is basically Reynor just trying to find some final fights. Yes, some of these fights are still not going to look super pretty for the Zerg player. That's just kind of how this matchup is going to go. But these are just the sort of fights that you got to take no matter what. So, not really much choice in the matter. As you do have... You know, you got to kill this army at some stage, and like I say, you've done everything you can to make sure that this is the last army. So anytime you kill a unit right now, you look at it and you're like, okay, that's really good progress. This scenario is going to be very bad for Spirit. He's going to lose the ghosts, and he knows it immediately. GG has to be called, and Reynor is going to take the first game of this best-of-5 playoff matchup. GG's. Alright, game 2 coming up, guys, I'm sure in a few moments. I'm just going to run ads, because obviously that was a long game, so I'm just going to have to run a full set of ads as well. So I'll just run those, and on we will go. And after this, guys, we're going to be doing a Lima League. I'm going to have to probably change the YouTube stream. Like, I'm not sure how this works, but I think what we're going to do is make a new event on the YouTube. So the YouTube live link will change once we finish this tournament and go into the Lima League coverage. So I think that will change. I'm going to look into it a little bit. But I think that's the best thing to do. So yeah. We'll figure that out though when we get there. Just letting you guys know that will be more coming up. Alright, Neon Violent Square coming through. Get this going in a few moments. Get this set up. Get this ready to go. Like I say, it's going to be a second map. Another big map, actually. Ley Lines has the tendency to potentially play big, but it's not actually necessarily a big map in itself. Like, it's got a lot of bases, but you're pretty close to each other. Neon Violet Square is just a massive map. This could very easily be another long game if Spirit wants to play it like that. So yes, potential of just continuing seeing some long games here in this TVZ. I don't think Reynor will mind it going long. I don't know, I don't think Reynor has a lot of fun playing super long games where he probably feels like he doesn't get to do... Like, obviously he does a lot, but it's like he feels like he's winning the entire time, but he knows that if he plays it a bit badly, he can still lose. I don't think those are the most kind of fun games for him to play, but... Ain't a win's a win. Haven't seen live Reynor in a while. Yeah, he's had bad internet, so he's not been able to be on camera, but apparently it's working today, so it's nice. And our next game is going to be Reynor on the top left. And bottom right, our red Terran is going to be Spirit. As the SCV is returning back into the main base here. Just going to get back across for a couple of moments, get that underway in the early stages. We settle down. See where we're going to take things over the next few moments, guys. So, again, just a little bit of setting up, a little bit of getting ready here. And we will see how things will go for us over an opening on Neon Violet Square. Again, I did feel like Reynor didn't have a great defense against the Multi-Rax Reaper at the start of that last game, but obviously worked out fine. He in the end, he killed the Reapers, which I think is more than anything else very important to note. I mean, if you eventually kill those, it's going to be huge for you. So that's definitely a big positive in the grand scheme of things. Easy building up, orbital on the way. Again, kind of expecting Spirit to either play a very committed 3-base attack or just play for the long game. Those are kind of the two styles he really delves into a lot of the time. We'll see how greedy his opening is. I mean, 3rd CC already off a single gas. It already suggests the idea that this is going to be a pretty kind of greedy attempt, and then the greedier he gets, the more powerful he believes his attacks become, right? Which is not incorrect. And typically then he goes more towards that kind of 3-base all-in because he feels like he's just had such a good and efficient start that he can really then get away with it, so... Yeah, we get a bunch of that coming through here as we have ourselves a little bit of build-up coming through. It's going to be having the factory on the way out. The CC is still building in it as well, so it's going to bring all of that into play for the moment. Factory reactor coming online, depot, SCVs, command center building as well. So far, so good. So, we sit back, we relax, we'll take a few moments. Early game really will not have too much going on, especially with no kind of early units moving about or anything along those lines. I'm just gonna sit back and relax for now. It's going to be there. It's going to be seeing our troop team going down as well. It's going to grab that. Having ourselves the Bubble Hellions getting chased away. The Queen's going to be there to push that back as well. It's going to chase that out and make some progress for a few moments. So nothing too crazy just yet. Let's just settle down. There is the engineering base coming through. His Spirit will just take himself into a very comfortable macro-focused position. No surprises on what he's heading into so far. Like I said, this is kind of the expectation when you've got Spirit in your game. So yeah, nothing's really coming through as a surprise for now. So I'm pretty fine in that regard. Eva James coming up. Drone still building. Those orbitals coming through. We have ourselves the Evo Chambers, Link Speed, Overlords, and drones producing as well. The 1-1 upgrades and the stim pack continuing into play. Alright, finishing on the Starport. And Reynor not able to get any scouting information yet. I mean, Spirit is just heading into siege tanks. Gonna move a 4th base into position, so here's me talking about 3 base all-ins. He's already built a 4th and ready to go for that. Apparently is the plan. Extrax going through, SCVs, Medivacs, Marines, 1-1 upgrades and Combat Shield continuing out as well. We keep bringing that up into play. But more depots will go down. Got a Sense Tower to go along with that. Again, the rest of the Marines and the tanks just gonna step forward here for a few moments and away we shall go. Medivacs is going to boost her around the top again. 1-1 upgrades coming through. The Bailey speed is coming about as well. We've seen the Overseer going to take a few more shots, a few nibbles. Spire coming up, melee upgrades, Bailey speed coming up. These Marines are going to try and fight some of those Queens as well. Attempt to see if there's anything that can really be done there. Answer is not really. Queen's pretty good, transfusions are pretty powerful to keep you alive and to keep you in a fairly comfortable place. Let's see the Medevac is going to be pushing through. Queen going to get there. Medevac going to take some shots. A bit more damage being dealt. Meter still coming through as well. Medevac coming over again. Infestation Pit coming up. Couple hatches coming through. The Banes still producing it in as well right here. And bring that through. The mutas are coming across the map. So Reynor with that Spire in play. Now absolutely going to try and make something of this. So with that Spire going, I'm going to head off and try and deal some damage. So many places to harass on this map. This high ground into this base, in so many matchups and so many scenarios, continues to look extremely powerful. Do have the Marines continue to chase. The music get pushed around. A little bit more, a few more bits and pieces taking place right there. Some action going about here and there as well. The Bio Army joining together, tanks gathering up, SCVs have fallen. The Spirit want to make a push out again. Spirit just happy to keep making bases and building up. I mean, Reynor gonna really try and utilize just again the size of the map and the ability to ping pong between bases very nicely to try and do as much as possible. Just coming through, a couple of bits and pieces, taking some damage. You see the music coming back across, there's a siege tank going down. Now missile turrets firing away, and a few of those mutalisks taking damage as well, so a few more shots continue to come about just for now. It's continuing over as we speak. Reynor saying tower defense, because that's kind of where this may be heading to at this point, right? Only way to win, aye. Well, away we go for another round of, as Reynor calls it, tower defense. The Slingbane Muta will try and crush this early though. Slingbane Muta is a bit more aggressive, so we'll try and get a bit more action going quickly. There we go. Slingbane going to come through, the Overseer coming about as well. Going to be seeing this base at the very least is going to go down. The question will be just how effective is this for Reynor. You knock a base down, but you lose quite a lot of units in doing so. You don't really trade out with the army. Still got that Spire coming through. The additional meter is still building up as well, so a lot of mutalisks actually continue to come into play. A lot of mutas continue to just build in general right now. So again, a lot of mutas coming through. The Lings, the Banes, the Queens gathering up. We've got the Spire still building as well. A couple of siege tanks coming about. Additional command centers coming through as well. As the Bioforce gathers in. Like I said, it could be in for the long haul here. As Surge just builds all the CCs, and yeah, we just let ourselves get into a later and later stage of this game. Basically, that is where we are at. That's where we're going. That's what's happening. There's not really much else to say about it apart from sit back, relax, and enjoy your long games of Starcraft 2 that are going to keep coming through. A few more missile turrets coming down. The refinery also going to get added in there fairly soon, it would seem. Here comes the Ling Bane starting to press forward as well, but not going to do too much right from the get-go. Four more SCVs going down. Again, Reynor just taking the map. He's smiling to himself a little bit. I think he knows exactly what kind of game this is and exactly how this is going to be going for the foreseeable future. So we sit back, relax, and wait to see how long it takes Reynor to break him. Is pretty much exactly what's going down right now. Pretty much exactly what's going down. Oh, once a couple of subs back to back. Yo, thank you so much, Pentop, for the 4-month resub on the prank. Keep being balls over Wardy. Don't let haters and a-holes bring you down your stream's vibes. Oh, that's okay. I wasn't really about haters or a-holes. It was more actually tournament organizers scheduling over us, but it's all good. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. And Dohi, thank you so much for the 38-month resub as well. What do you do versus this? Nidus, Swarm Host? Yeah, you can attempt a Nidus a few times over. I don't think you ever Swarm Host. It's just not efficient enough. Like, Swarm Host Locust at this stage has so much defense, like, they just don't do anything. I think you just try and Nidus, you stay active, you move around the map, and you do what you did in the last game, which is just you slowly try and take trades. These mutas are brave enough to go and contend with those Liberators, which is obviously scary, because the mutas can die very quickly to a bunch of Liberator splash damage. They thought they had enough of a jump on them. This is exactly why that's a very dangerous thing to assume and presume. Because then those mutas get turned around in an instant, and it's not so pretty, and Reynor knows that that was not exactly the greatest way to utilize the mutalisks. And some Reynor full screen here to make this a little bit more interesting while we pretty much sit back and relax for the foreseeable future. Thor's medevacs continue to gather up. Bio, Libs, Medevacs continue to come through. We're just going to be having ourselves the Nidus Network coming up, +3 melee, +1 missiles coming through, the +3 flyer attack as well. Reynor has the map covered in creep. All of his bases are taken. I mean, there is not much more to say in this regard. We very much so can see where this game is at. Also going to be seeing the Ling Bane going to come through, going to knock down the planetary. All those mules will go down. Again, anytime you're taking down a base, I think you're taking a win as Reynor, because you really do slow down a little bit of that Terran economy and some of the mining that you have to basically work through to win this game. So Reynor's going to take one step in the right direction there, but it's one very small step in the grand scheme of things, because there is a lot of bases, a lot of orbitals. Spirit is very happy apparently just to, like I say, play this very long game out. He seems to think that's, like he just said, it's the only way to win, he says. So this is what he's going to do. The Nidus gets up here, but the defense is absolutely fine. That's not going to go anywhere. Reynor going to take some damage to the bottom left. We'll have to deal with that for a few moments. Just a little problem there. Bio Ghost tanks coming back across. Just going to be seeing a couple factories coming through. Planetaries, Liberators in production as well. See how Lings and our Bane's going to continue to run over. As we head straight forwards, the Bio's just going to have to pull back there. A couple of parasite bombs going off as well. So a couple of power bombs coming through. A few Lings still going to chase across. You can see the Lings, the Banes continue to come over. A few more shots coming in there as that base goes down. Just going to have ourselves the Liberator still in position as to try and close out a little bit further as well. Things going to continue through. The siege tank firing away. Quite a few Lings actually getting bopped at the moment. Look at that Ling Bane coming through, CC in the skies. Again, CC's building up, Landry Fortress on the way through, advanced ballistics, +3 ship weapons, +3 vehicle plating, all coming out. Liberator forces the defense here as well. Reynor just going to pull back again. This game of Spirit has a lot more money in the bank. As well, also access to 6 bases. 7 bases actually, right? So again, just comparing to the last game, I guess this is a scenario similar to the last game that's better than the last game, right? Where he does actually have a bit more bank going right away. Going back to my comment about it being ideal for him. This is really stuck in my head now that I said this. But yeah, no, I think he's I think Spirit's just gonna hunker down and we're just gonna sit back and wait to see what happens basically. I mean, I think Reynor wins this in the long term, but like I said, there's always the chance, right? It's going to be seeing a few mules mining away. It's going to be seeing the Viper's going to parasitic bomb a little bit further as well. Liberator is still taking some damage. I'm just going to step through there. That Queen goes down. CC going to step forward as well. Also trying to see what else we can get up to. Going to see the Ling Bane coming about. The Overseer's there. The Liberator is moving back as well. Libs is still settling. IO tanks making their way across. Just going to have ourselves a Reynor who sitting back in his chair just knows exactly what his opponent is doing, which is just playing the very long game. Refusing to kind of back away from it, and that is exactly where I mean, that's just going to be where we continue to remain, guys. I can't really make this much more exciting myself. You can all see where we're at. We know where we're at. Yeah, this is the game that we're playing right now. This is the Starcraft 2 on our schedule. As Reynor's going to lose the bottom left base, he is going to Ling Bane the Planetary Fortress down on the right side as well. Aurora's coming back about. Nuke launching up into the skies as well. Aurora's just going to go and pick off this hatchery in the corner. Sensor tower coming down to. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm just going to BRB like 30 seconds. I'll be right back, okay? Sorry for that, guys. Just long games had to be able to do something quick. I was going to get a chance, but yeah, this game is obviously just going to go pretty darn long, so I thought I'd just jump before anything was going to happen. Because I think everyone is aware that this is not going anywhere just yet, so. Nuke. Right now, the kills that hatchery. Actually, coming back to a moment where quite a lot of units are being lost, but both players have rebuild potential, so this doesn't. Yeah, this doesn't really change much of anything, right? At this point in time, I mean, units can be replaced, and they're going to be there. Well, I just have a couple ghosts still hanging around as well, so they're just going to stop and figure out what they want to do. Seeing the Lings continue to come across. A bit more being done as well. Maybe seeing the Lings going to storm down to the bottom side. Siege tanks coming through as well. It's going to get onto this planetary fortress, this base over here. I mean, it's not even a base, it's just a planetary between bases. Because why not? You've got enough CCs, may as well morph one of them into a random planetary somewhere along the way to make it a bit more exciting. Ay. CC moves across again, Libs, Siege tanks continuing through, the Marine Marauder Ghost is on the way, the Hellions are producing. Good bit of everything on the way up right now is... Fire Force comes in again, just going to see those tanks going to get jumped on, they're going to get taken down. Going to be having a couple of Liberators sieging up, the Ling Bane continues through. Going to be seeing the Hydras get on top of a CC. I'm not sure what it's floating so far forward for. Feels as though maybe he's trying to like land it in the choke point and planetary it. I don't know. But doesn't really do much of anything. Reynor will get rid of the base in the bottom left hand side, and again that's going to be one of the challenges he wants to stay on top of, essentially, just making sure he is continuously denying that base, making sure that that is continually going to be something that we can do something about. There's a couple of Hellbats there, going to get rid of a couple of Lings as well, so a bit more damage being done. Queen gets onto the Liberator for a few moments too. Things still coming across, and those Hellbats will go down on top of everything else that's been happening here. There's a little bit more damage continuing to be done as the base floats back over, burning for the moment. Lingbane Hydra coming through the center, getting set up as well. Scan comes down, our Vipers are coming across. Hellions tanks, missile turrets. Again, the Sensor Tower continue to come into play just for the moment. And that ready to go as our CC will come about. Just going to be having the Lings and the Banes coming through. The Hydras coming about. Just going to press forward once again. That base will drop, so this base will be going down. I mean, again, Spirit has a good mineral bank, not so much of a gas bank, but you know, the pieces are definitely there for Spirit to play a game that is gonna potentially go his way. just to make you guys really feel this, don't forget that Spirit is here instead of Clem, because Clem dropped one too many maps in the group stage, and this could have been a Reynor versus Clem classic. And instead we're getting the Spirit Reynor sit back, relax, put your feet up and see what the hell happens. Because, yes, it definitely is one of those, not just Spirit games, but Spirit series, because it's the second game of the series already where we're getting this. And we've seen our units here from Reynor coming through, find a bit of a different direction. Those rocks are gone, so you have a bit more of an opening here to maybe make yourself and to try and utilize, so keep our eyes on how that maybe affects things. Vipers overhead, the Bio Ghost Medevac around the other direction. Still got ourselves Queens and Lings on the way through, Bio and Liberator and Command Center coming up as well. Ling's continuing to cross, looking for a little bit more damage. Trying to see what else is going on. A couple of liberated shots, a couple of those drones going down as well. It's just a little bit more being done over here. Thing's going to come around. Factory is going to be taking some shots there too. And just continue to come back through. Again, damage being done as we speak. Gonna stay as active as possible here. I mean, a lot of SCVs going down. The more of those SCVs we get rid of, the better off we're typically going to end up being, right? So that is a little bit of a factor. SCVs, 18 of them dead. Yeah, Spirit's Bank taking a little bit of a hit here recently, so something impactful has been happening. CC is going to land on down. Reynor has no gas mining. No, he does not. I think he must have gas on some bases still, though, right? He shouldn't be mined out of all gases on the map. Like the top right base, I think he's just not got drones on right now, if I had to guess. I think that should be some gas mining he still has available, but yeah, I mean, I can't click around to check, guys. That's the problem. I'm just going to run in here, but not sure that that's really going to do much of anything either. More Lings go down. You know, doing Lings only. Yeah, I mean, I guess he has minerals to spend that he needs to kind of utilize, right? Has he really mined all of the gas on the bases that he has? If that's the case, he's dead. And if that's the case, then this game is over. Just kind of nuts. I actually think Reynor might be about a GG because he's clearly taking a fight here, which is not good. And I think that's him just admitting that this is desperation. Like, he just can't do much. He gets a little bit of gas mining now, but I mean, is his army going to get any better? Not really. I don't see anything that's going to make his army better anytime soon. It's just Ling Bane in production. Ay. How much lava does he have? I don't think lava is necessarily as much of a problem, because I think it's more the fact that remaxing on Lings isn't going to help him much either. He's going to make some ultras this time around. Yeah, this base has gas on it, so you can mine gas here, but not if it's being destroyed by Hellbats. These Hellbats do pretty well trading with some of those Lings. Spirit's also running out of minerals, but he's still mining minerals too. It's not like he's out. It's just he had quite a sizable bank, like 8k minerals, but in the past, that's now gone. He's trying to run through a few Marines setting up as well. All the siege tanks continue to come across and over. And we'll just take a few moments to continue settling ourselves for now as the bio comes across the tanks and the Hellions as well. The Lings up into the natural and now moving into the main base. Away they go. I mean, Spirit is, yeah, a little bit lackluster defensively on that right side. Here's the Ultras that need to do a lot right now. They need to really power through. The Ghost obviously will try and snipe, soften those Ultras up and break through them nice and quickly. A few snipes coming down, but honestly not too many. Felt as though that could have been a whole lot more by now. I mean, Ultras have more success in pushing through this base than what he's had previously. And lose this base on the 3 o'clock though, and that base going down is going to mean a loss of gas income, and again, gas income is something we're clearly worried about at this stage for Reynor. He's had 0 of it has been brought up, and I mean, no gas mine is a problem, straight up. He has these bases. He has like 2,500 gas right there. Yeah, I mean, he needs to mine that. He's got loads of gas mining, guys. He's just not taking the gases. Well, it's actually a problem, though, if he doesn't realize that he's not mining the gas as well, right? Like, he needs to go and take... Oh, yeah, he's taking the extractors now. He's only just realized, so he's just being bad play. It's been a straight-up mistake from Reynor to not have had those gases before now. Because he could have been mining from them for a long time. And there might be a world now where he runs into trouble because he's got less gas than he really needs. He's getting the Great Aspire up, so he's going to potentially have a Broodlord switch available to him as well. That's going to be very gas expensive. If you Broodlord switch, you're basically on one last attempt. Like that's going to be like your last army of the game. Outside of maybe some like Ling reinforcements, so that's the road we're going on, and that is the road we're going on. I tell you what though, Spirit's losing a lot of control on the left side. Yes, he's mined those bases out, but it means that Reynor's far left base is going to be a lot easier to hold on to. Spirit now has to prioritize that upper right base for himself, taking it and potentially denying the Reynor upper right bases where gas mining is had. And the Ultra's going to go after a couple of those refineries as well, picking away at those. Like I said, this is why just mining the gas ASAP would have been much better, and that definitely has been a mistake in this game. I just didn't notice the lack of gas income when it was available. Spirit on 0 mineral income right now. That will change when this base lands and the Mule Hammer drops, so Spirit can get minerals going and rolling once again. So yeah, that base is obviously extremely important. Reynor continues to backstab with the Zerglings, hitting the orbital over here, potentially breaking through toward the mineral lines. Is the plan for the moment. We'll have our Lings is going to run about, and the orbital command figuring out where it would like to go to as well. So just getting all of that set up. Also, you have a Viper Abduct on a siege tank, so that's where some of the efficiency will come from for Reynor right now as well. But that will also probably not last forever in this situation. There's a ton of mules dropping down as well. So many minerals available again here from Spirit as Reynor loses the top right again. This was 100% a location where he could have had more gas, but he did not mine from it all this time. He's got resources available over here. That base got knocked down a couple times. There might be... I wonder if there's gas in the bottom left base. That gas is mined out, but I wonder if the super far bottom left base is mined out as well. I'm not sure. Excuse me. I mean, Spirit just reallocating his defense to the upper right side, protecting those bases now. That is going to be his priority. That's his next mining base to focus on. Find a couple of gases here. There is gas there in case Reynor wants to make a play for gas in that corner. I think he is taking the bottom left base because there's gas available too. He's fixing his gas problems. He's got 1.3k gas income now, so Reynor's going to have a lot more to do. Let's take some moment to stretch. It's the kind of game that we're playing, guys. Kind of game that we're playing. He's going to lift off. Like I say, he's going to reallocate all of his defenses, SimCity, to that upper right-hand side. That's the position on the map he needs to hold on to right now. It's as simple as that. It isn't rocket science. It's plain and simple. It's obvious, in fact. That's just what you got to do right here. So exactly what we're going to play for is Lang's going to find a tank and find some structures. I mean, this is nice, right? Anything you can start getting rid of with these Zerglings. Force the Terran to relocate. Some depots may have to be rebuilt. You know, may as well go for as much as you can get. This is a fun push from Spirit, though, because it's going to threaten that base of Reynor, and I bet soon he's going to be rich and he's already mined out that gas. Like I say, this is the storyline of the game. That Reynor probably could have mined a whole bunch more gas already on these positions. A couple changes going down. The Infestor and the +2 carapace for the flyer units. Sorry, is going to be on its way as well. All those barracks floating through, the orbital command coming across. The Lings are going to hit the bottom right side where depots and the Ghost Academy will be in some trouble, so... honestly, Spirit's not in the mode of rebuilding. He's relocating his structures. He will rebuild a bit of tech if necessary. The orbital is going to get shot at, but it's going to provide vision for a few snipes, and take those. That orbital will go down. Changeling is going to step forward as well. Brutes continue to gather together. Just going to have ourselves the Tech Labs, the reactors coming up and online. 3 flyer carapace still coming about as the entire bottom of the map. This is funny. This is now going to turn into top left versus bottom right almost. The bottom of the map just becomes non-existent, especially to Spirit, because his main base is wiped out. He's not going to contest the bottom left bases of Reynor anymore, which is nice for Reynor. This game is just all about the top right now from Spirit. So you're going to see Neon Violet Square looking very different to how Neon Violet Square usually looks. This almost looks like a 2-player map where you spawn top left and top right. But yes, obviously not the case. So yeah. A bit of an amusing moment in that regard. Bill's just going to drop down, finish mining that out. His Spirit Core, I mean, he's got another base with a few minerals on it, but he's going to be out of minerals soon. The Broodlords are going to create some complications for Spirit. I definitely think this is putting him into a more awkward position than what he wants to be in. So yeah, I do think he's ending up in a little bit of a weird place for himself right now. Brood's going to step forward. That Liberator goes down. We send a few more Broodlings in as well. Reynor maxed. Spirit is 170. Actually is going to have supply depot issues, so has to build up a couple new depots. So there you go. That previously mentioned player getting rid of some of the depots and stuff has actually come into play. It has become a factor. 38 minutes here on Neon Violet Square. Like I say, definitely making up for what was a super speedy first series of the day. Those Liberators continue to come out here still, guys, as we just have ourselves the mules. Going to be mining away on the mineral lines as well, just trying to see what else is going on. Broodlord's going to pull back a little further. Again, Thors and Liberators continue to come about. Just going to have another Thor popping. Put those Thors into anti-Broodlord mode. Can I mention why the players don't go 5 to 6 Swarm Hosts at this stage of the game and just chip away the Terran? Because they don't chip away the Terran at all. The Locusts just die before they do anything. It's just supply. You need to have as big an army as possible for when you actually take a fight. And the Swarm Hosts do not do anything. Like, what are they going to do? Fly into this army and what? Like, they're not going to do any damage before they get killed. So, yeah, they just die way too quickly at this stage. And it doesn't achieve you anything. And it eats into your... It would be fine maybe still if it didn't eat into your army supply, but you just need the army supply at this point to have as much as possible to take on the Terran army, which is definitely going to be overwhelming. You need to somewhat try and match that supply-wise, because even equal supply isn't going to be good enough. So just not a worthwhile investment at this stage at all. Spirit's out of money, guys. This is it. He has built everything he can build. He has mined out his side of the map. He's mined out all of his bases. Spirit has no more units coming through. Reynor still will add a couple on. This is where Reynor benefits a lot. This is where Reynor still has a little bit of mining, still has a little bit of income, still has a little bit of bank. And he just now needs to slowly chip away at that Terran army. This is where you just need to go and do what you can. That's a nice snipe. That's some Vipers going down. Get rid of those spellcasters is going to make life a lot easier for Spirits, so he'll be very happy to see that already. The Broodlord's going to try and come through again. Infestor's obviously going to be a big part of winning this because they can maintain or keep that Terran army at bay, which is kind of what you just need at some points of this. There's going to be a fungal as we try and stem forward. Nothing gets in range of those broods, really. A couple of snipes will go down, though, actually. I tell a lie. Some snipes went down. We kind of want to capitalize on these fungals, I think. Remember that right now, every unit that dies here for Spirit is pretty much irreplaceable, so as units go down, that is a pretty big deal. Reynor will rebuild a few of the Infestors, get some energy back on track. Again, that's eaten into his gas, but that's good, because right now, funnily enough, after talking about all the gas problems of Reynor, he's going to have more gas than he has minerals. Infestors are very gas efficient, so if you can just get a few more Infestors out, and it's worth getting those Infestors out, then that's brilliant for you. There's another Marauder going down, and again, we're counting every unit at the moment, because every unit is going to matter in these later stages. Nice little abduct on with Thor. Again, big expensive unit getting dragged in. Bit more value here on this side of Reynor. Continue to take very good trades in that regard. Vesta steps forward as well to try and investigate what's up. And again, just going to have ourselves the Liberators still sitting tight. A couple of changelings go down, but I was still ready to push further forward. Lib shots are good. A couple more lib shots looking nice as well. Looking pretty. Nice. Broodlord's got another Thor. Yeah, the Infestors doing their work. I mean, the Liberators are a problem, right? The problem is you can't fly in and deal with those Liberators too easily. The Spores are going to try and do their thing. And this is where the rest of the buy is going to step forward again. The Fungals will do their thing. A couple more Fungal grows, but I think we're out of Infestor energy. We do land one more Fungal. It didn't really land on anything, though. Spirit's lost too much, though. I don't think his army is anywhere near being substantial anymore. And these Broodlords can actually just step forward so much more safely. I think the Ghosts are all dead. We're not really getting a good shot of the Terran army, but GG gets called, and Reynor is going to win it after 43 minutes. It is going to be 2-0 in favor of Reynor now in this best of 5. Well, an hour and 15 for this second series, and we're 2-0 in. That is where the day has brought us thus far. So, we are going to be heading into Ultra Love for map 3 of this matchup, so... does Ultra Love give us this kind of super sit back and sort of chill style? I don't think it does. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't hate a Spirit just try to kill Reynor on 3 bases instead. I get it. This is what you feel like is giving you the best shot at winning, but it hasn't worked twice in a row. So, and I feel like this last game was your best shot at it because it felt like you got there very comfortably. Reynor threw away a bunch of mutas. Like, if it didn't work in that last game, I think it's okay for Spirit just to say, okay, let's give up on that and go a bit of a different direction now, you know? This game really made you not want to play SC2 again. You don't. It's okay, though. You don't play games like this outside of the top level because Terrans aren't good enough to play like this at the top level, so it's okay. It's not easy to actually sit there and survive as Zerg throws units at you. It's actually a lot more difficult than it, than even I would like to admit, to be honest. Do. It's even harder for Zerg at the low levels. It really depends on what part of the game you struggle at. Versus... yeah, I don't think that's necessarily just a true statement. I think everyone struggles at different ways in these games. I don't think it's just more difficult for Zerg at low level. I think camping, I mean, if you play mech and you just camp, yes, that can be more easy for a Terran to execute earlier on. But, you don't have to play those kind of games as a Zerg. You can also just, learn, you know... At that point, the Terran's not playing well enough that you can't just improve to beat it, you know? This style? I mean, Terrans cannot play this style at low leagues. I know because I've tried. It's horrific. It is much easier for the Zerg to make a lot of units and attack in than it is for the Terran to position properly and pull off correct, you know, snipes and so on. Does it always work for you as the Zerg? No. I actually think it is much more difficult for the Terran at the low levels to play that style that Spirit just played. If you tell me, you know, your Terran player is just going to play mech and sit there from the start of the game and, you know, you struggle with that, I can appreciate that, but... experience is different. I mean, people struggle with different things, but, like, to pull off that sort of Terran play at that level, it's extremely difficult. You're controlling way too much. It also depends what league we're talking about as well, so... easy to camp and break the camper. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't disagree, but I don't think it's very easy to camp at all with Bio Ghost Terran, so... anyways, doesn't really matter. Ultra Love. I think this map's going to be a little better for us here in terms of maybe getting something a little bit more active a little sooner in the game. I don't think this is going to get as caught up as what we saw in that previous two maps, honestly. You can see our drone going to move about. The Ling's going to chase after that Reaper for a few moments, and away we go. Just for now, pushing that around, forcing that to fall off. Making some plays as the SCVs gather up. A couple drones in the hatch are going through. Going to drop the CC up to the top side as well. Get that straight into position here. And there's the third command center. So... I mean, that's not unnatural, though. You can still do some more kind of aggressive timing-based plays off a 3cc, so... I'm not guaranteed to just sit and camp out just yet. Hold your horses, hold your breath. Anything could still happen. Defensive advantage means you reinforce units faster. Camping has nothing to do with reinforcing. Well, no, it also means that if a defensive advantage is also the fact that you sit in a defensive position, so it's harder to attack into a defender than it is to... than it would be otherwise, right? It's not just about reinforcing. Defenders have a lot of advantages. High ground, ramps, pre-sieged units, static defense, reinforcement distance, as I say. Ling's cruising about, Stim on the way up, and do get some Lings and Queens on the way from Reynor. Don't think you'll try and play any Spire play again, especially not on this map. Be very surprised to see that. They're just going to get sieged, come across for a couple of moments, and the Queen's going to be there pushing the Hellions back around as well. They're just going to siege up, just going to see if your drone's going to take some damage. One of them upgrades, combat shield coming through, siege tank on the way, the bunker coming about, SCVs and marines producing along as well. Again, the creep team is coming out with extractors and the Bane Nest and the drones and the rest of it all coming through. Carapace upgrade also in production. As it continues to settle down right now. Hellions poking. Astrea hitting an Overlord. Spirit, what is your plan? We haven't seen a 4th CC yet, right? It's just barracks for now, so potential for him to still maybe just go for like a timing-based play rather than a straight up camp it out and play a super long game. 2 more barracks as well. So we actually start to head in that direction a little bit. Or maybe he does just send this into one big timing effort as the armory to move towards 2-2 upgrades as well, so that should also help us along the way right now. The Marines, the Hellions is going to be there. The upgrades continue to come through. Scan coming about. Step forward, a couple tanks will under siege. We just have ourselves the Bane speed coming up. Again, Banes and Queens continuing across. Lings get straight into the natural. Going to jump onto those Marines, SCVs. Going to get jumped on as well. Going to go up towards the siege tank as well. More Lings coming across the map. Another depot getting grabbed. A couple of siege tanks are going to siege up also here. And the Spores also going to get jumped on. Now have our 2 Broodlings going down as well. Still got the 1-1 melee upgrades. The Baneling speed still coming up and online. Lings are coming about. The engineering base coming through. Hatch rate will go down. Just going to be seeing the tanks going to get there. Again, the Ling Bane coming through. Melee upgrades, Carapace upgrades, and the Baneling speed producing as well. We continue to get that set up. Bane's going to crash in. There goes a bunker and a depot. A couple of other Banes here is going to get a few SCVs, so we get some more work done. And now the Ling Bane is going to come across, and just going to be seeing those Banes still coming over to try and make a little bit more happen. "24 SCVs just going down immediately." I mean, again, good damage being done, but this is coming at the cost of Reynor. He is, you know, giving up some units to do this, and there's definitely a world where, you know, he potentially run into trouble on the counter-attack. But for now, I mean, he's doing a significant amount of damage, so you can't really complain about where he's at. He's definitely doing a lot. Like I say, Spirit's going to come across the map with a lot of units, though. Now these Lings go down, and Reynor is down 30 army supply. So Spirit's immediately in a position where I think he can just send it. I mean, Reynor starts a burrow, so he's going to try and get some burrowed Banes to his defense, but I think he's dead. I actually think Spirit is just going to have way too much on the army, and I think this push is going to be extremely deadly. It's going to be tough. I mean, we're going to counterattack again with some Lings threaten. Try and keep Spirit back at home. That's all you can do right now. He has got a lot of Queens, mind. Could not see just quite how many Queens he had, and he's got a lot of transfusion energy on those as well. Stay back, because obviously you want to keep those Queens healthy. There's the medevac of Marines into the main base. It's going to be a distraction as well for Reynor to try and deal with during Spirit's push, which is pushing towards the upper 12 o'clock base now. Very tough to stop this. The extra Bane's still morphing in. Like I say, Burrow could be a factor at some point, although I don't know if it's going to be there anywhere near in time. It's just over halfway done. Drop in the main has been dealt with. Reynor's army supply only 8 behind. Has a lot of economy, and right now, Spirit's just kind of sat here. I mean, Reynor can obviously take some time himself and just say, okay, if you're just going to sit there, I can shut off reinforcements. This army doesn't get any stronger for the foreseeable future. If the army isn't getting any stronger, then Reynor should probably be able to clean it up at some point, right? There's the reinforcements currently heading around the bottom. Queen's doing a good job of holding on here as well. They're actually doing a fantastic job of just dealing some damage, pushing things back. That's going a long way to helping for sure. Marines still fighting. The Queens are going to be there too. Just going to see those few Marines getting pushed the other direction. There we go. Ling Bane going to jump onto this. A few of the Marines going down. Siege Tank going to get jumped on as well. Liberator firing. Not sure that will make much difference as the Hatcher on the right side gets taken out. 4 bases across the top of the map from Reynor. Still looking pretty, so we lose 1 base, but we have that upper left side. The top left army has gone as well. And this group of units from Spirit will get cleaned up. Does get a good tank shot onto the Banelings at least. Yeah, Reynor cleans that up, and this is still a 3-base Terran who is only really, forced the Zerg to switch which base they're using as their 4th. That's kind of about it right now. Kind of about it right now. Plus 2 melee still coming through. The additional Bane's coming up. Marines unload into the top left corner. Hatchery going to take some damage. A few more drones taking shots. You're seeing this hatchery All in the near future. Just going to be seeing the Bane's going to attack in over here. The Lings have a wrap on those Marines. Unfortunately, the Medivacs are there to evacuate them, so the Banes won't get there to connect. Maybe not the prettiest fight of all time for Reynor, in all honesty, but still think it's turning out to be unlikely good enough for him to be in very much so a winning position. Spirit now not mining off of a third base. Reynor did lose the top left base, but has already been really building that base in the center, so he's going to re-establish a fourth very soon for himself. And he is moving towards +2 melee, so he's going to take more than just the +2 carapace advantage. He's going to have a full 2-2 to 1-1 advantage in this game. Upgrade's pretty sizable when it's going to be Ling Bane against Marine forces, which is pretty much exactly what we're watching at the moment. The Marines and Medivacs on the right side gather up. The Orbital continue to produce through some SCVs. Another round of Ling Bane going to run through here. It's actually going to blow up a bunch of these SCVs. There's a very small counterattack from Spirit. Probably not big enough to be effective, realistically. That's probably not going to go very far. It's probably not going to do very much. As the Ling Bane does not continue through into the natural, so Reynor going to fall back from there just for the moment at least. Going to step away for now. And we will have ourselves, again, the rest of these Medivacs and Marines still joining up together. Ling's coming across. Settle down for a little bit longer. He's going to go after the spawning pool. Going to knock that down. The rest of the Ling's still coming about here. The Bane's going to be morphing in. Up this ramp we go. As we got the Bane still crashing forward. The Marines going to be taking some shots. Again, the spawning pool coming up. The Queens are going to be there hitting those Medivacs. I mean, Spirit trying to do something on these counterattacks, but there's just nothing to really be done. I mean, don't want to be overly negative all the time, but it does not feel good for him in the slightest just right now. It does not feel like where you really want to be at this point of the game. Sub 100 supply, natural gone. Reynor is going to take it as Spirit has to say GG, and Reynor is going to win this matchup after quite the effort. Obviously wasn't easy, as we saw. It was a pretty challenging and enduring series. Last game was a little bit swifter. He is going to come out with that victory. Well, that means for us, guys, is that today's Masters Coliseum games are done. We'll be back to cover more Masters Coliseum tomorrow, but we will also be continuing the stream today as we're going to be doing some Alimo League replay coverage. I'm going to start setting that up while the highlights and stuff play out here. We'll get that ready. So yeah, because I'm going to change the YouTube stream as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, guys, we're actually going to be switching to a different YouTube stream. I know that might seem a bit weird, but yeah, it's it's a little bit weird, like I say, but it just allows us to do a little bit more. So give me a couple of seconds. I'm just going to start at 14. Let's just do 25. Cool. So yes, guys, if you want to join us for some Alimo League coverage, we're going to be doing that and switching over. I think I can set that up. Give me a second. Clean up my dashboard a little bit. On Twitch, obviously, we're just going to stay right here. I'm going to swap into those Alimo League games very soon. All right. So annoying we have this terrible video quality because of Twitch. Well, the video quality today is because we're actually having to watch a clean feed that's not in good quality, so it's probably more that than anything else. Alright. Alright, guys. YouTube, I'm gonna send you guys over to our different stream for the Alima League coverage, which we'll be getting into here in just a few moments. So I will see you guys there.